What's up, everybody? It is Leonard Cello Webb, and I'm back again for the first time. I'm going to go over communication. I'm going to get into how it looks, how it works today. I'm going to use the whiteboard, and I'm drawing. I am no Bob Ross. I'm no artist. You're going to laugh at my stick figures. If you've seen terrible graffiti in New York in the 80s, it was probably me. So don't judge. Get right into it. Two people having a conversation. Person number one. Person number two. There we go. Okay. Now, communicating is actually like playing catch. So we're going to send a message, or we're going to throw that message. Now, you have four options when you're playing catch. Four things can happen. And that's the same way with communication. One, they can drop it. And drop it just means they don't really get it. They don't really understand it. But they're on it, but you might have to clarify a little bit. The second one is they miss it totally. And if you're on social media and have them conversations, you see where people just go out of left field. They miss everything you're trying to say. And it's hard to communicate in type, but that's a total miss. The third one is they can catch it. They get what you're saying. Now, that doesn't mean they agree with you, but they understand your point of view. And the last one is they can catch it and throw it back to you. And that's optimum communication. That's extreme communication. That is what a conversation consists of. That catching and throwing back. Again, not agreeing. I may throw back my opinion at you, but they throw it back. So those are four things that can happen when you're communicating. So, I'm going to draw a circle around this guy. Circle around this guy. What those circles represent is your frame of reference. Everything you bring to a conversation, your experience, your opinions, your education, whatever it is, whatever you have in your toolkit, as far as this conversation goes, is your frame of reference. Everything you bring. So everybody has a frame of reference. Doesn't have to be education, it can be just experience. But that's your frame of reference. What's that right there, you ask? It's common ground. That's our common ground where we all intersect. And again, this is not about agreement. Common ground is just we can agree or we can disagree from yesterday's lesson without being disagreeable. That's our common ground. So I'm going to draw another circle, but let's do it in black. Let's do it in black. And this goes all around both people. All this outside of our frame of reference, you guess it, noise. Now, that could be actual physical noise, or it could be the noise in our head. It could be noise that something on our mind that day. But this part of any conversation, the noise, we can't do nothing about. So ignore the noise. And it's hard to. You know, you're in an environment where it's loud, it's hard to communicate. But a lot of times we can't do nothing about that. So let's get back to our markers. We have our common ground in there, but what's around that common ground? Put that in green. Because our stick figures are in green. But if you can see, it's on the outside of the common ground. And that's our personal agenda. It's what we want. And sometimes it interferes with conversations. If our personal agenda grows, our common ground becomes less. Same thing with noise. If the noise gets too big, it reduces our common ground. So we have that. This is personal agenda. Our attitudes, our prejudices, our, things, what's motivating us sometimes to say certain things. That personal agenda is right there. So that's kind of a wrap how communication works. Remember the 7 steps from yesterday. It all ties into this. We're tying it all together. And just take a look. You want to increase that common ground. And sometimes that comes from our frame of reference, our experiences. Different people, if we have similar frame of references, we may have greater common ground. If we have similar experiences, we may have greater common ground. The hard part is when we have somebody that doesn't have a similar frame of reference, getting that common ground. And that's when yesterday's 7 steps come into play about communicating. So if you're quarantined in, think about this. Think about your personal agenda. Find that common ground. Thanks for watching. Be back again for the first time tomorrow.